Hello, in this video I will take a look at the GPS Forex robot, which is a popular Forex robot. This is the website for the robot, and what I like about this website is that it provides a lot of information. So first of all, the robot's $149, pretty cheap. There are definitely cheaper robots, but I would say this is on the low end of robot price. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. I can't vouch that that's real, but probably it is. I think the robot sold a lot of copies. The website is great because it gives lots of verified, real MyFX books links. So what that means is that you can look at the MyFX book account and you can see that it's with a real broker, FX Choice, and it's using real money. For example, this account has been traded since 2012. Before I get into the results, let me just say that a lot of robots and EAs and mentors and trading signals and other things in foreign exchange, honestly, it's clear that they're a scam. And one of the sort of tells or clues that will tell you it's a scam is that they don't want to give you much concrete information. So they won't have any live account linked or real MyFX book verified account or FX Blue verified account. Those are two websites that you can use to verify your accounts. It is possible to spoof those websites. You can have sort of a fake or corrupt broker. You can turn on and off the EA that reports to the website. So there are ways to spoof it, but it's pretty easy, I think, to tell that it's being spoofed, or relatively easy. There might be other ways of spoofing it I'm not aware of, but overall I would say MyFX book is what you should look for, or what I look for anyway, when I'm looking for a robot to see how it's actually performing. If I have a MyFX book account, I can look at how it opens trades, how it closes trades, what time of day it trades, whether it opens baskets of trades, whether it's using grid, whether it's using martingale, what kind of lot sizes it's using, what its average win and average loss are, how long it holds trades. There's just so much information that you can get from MyFX book. So the fact that this robot is willing to provide transparency is a big point in its favor, in my opinion. Let me give you an example of a robot that's not providing transparency. This is a robot I'm interested in, and I'll probably review at some point. Well, may review at some point. And I am not at all picking on this robot or saying it's a scam, but it's kind of typical for Forex robots. So if you look at this website for this Forex Pro Island robot, you can see that there's just, if you read through it, there's almost no information given. For example, let's look here, how it works. It's based on ages of in-depth research. It earns money easily, safely from the comfort of your own home. Unlike anything else on the market, cutting-edge technology. It's reliable, it's effortless. Now, did that really tell you how it worked? No. You don't understand anything about how it works. You don't understand how it opens trades, when it opens trades, how it manages trades, how it closes trades, how long it holds trades, whether it has grid, whether it has martingale, whether it uses baskets of trading. You don't know anything about the robot from this. It's just lots of claims. And when you try to look at, you see these little screenshots of some winning trades. Well, this can be doctored. You could have just picked a time when it traded well. There's so many ways to scam you with this sort of unverified results. If we look down here at their MyFX book link, or MyFX book screenshot, what's interesting here is if you click on this screenshot, it doesn't take you to MyFX book. It just shows you the image. So this is an image. Images can be doctored. You also can see that it stopped trading here somewhere around March 10th. So what happened after March 10th? You can't look at any details about this account. You can't look at what time of day it's trading, how it's sizing trades, how it's managing trades, whether it's using grids. You can't tell anything from this. The only thing you can tell is that for a period of time here, it had some gains on this particular account, and it uses martingale because it has these dips. So honestly, robots in Forex, most of them are like this. They just don't give you much information. The good thing about this GPS robot is they clearly are willing to give you a lot of information. They link, for example, on this page 3 live accounts. So let's take a look at those. All have generally good results, but with some strong caveats that you should consider. So here's the first account, probably I think the most successful account. Ran from 2012 until I believe today or very recently. Looks like it's still updating, and it's earned a huge amount of money. It started with $100,000 and it's up to, it looks like $600,000, over $600,000. Fantastic, right? You can see that it though only gained about less than 2% a month with a drawdown of 31%. And more interesting is that it recently has gained very little. So you can see here in January of 2020, 0.38%, 0.18%, 0.81%, 0.23%. And if we look at last year, 2019, not a single month gained as much as 1% return. So even though this says it's getting 2% a month, currently it's getting less than 1% a month with a max drawdown of 31%. That is not really an impressive result. What's impressive though is that it's run for 8 years without blowing up the account and losing everything. That's impressive. One of the things you'll note about this account is that if you look at the trades, almost all of the trades are longs, in other words buy positions, and only a few are shorts. And if you look at how many trades it's lost about 27 trades. It looks like 20 of those, my guess is, were followed up immediately. The buy loss was followed up immediately by a sell, because the way this robot works is in the settings you're able to instruct the robot to, if it takes a loss, immediately open a trade in the opposite direction, essentially a martingale trade, with a big bet, with a big lot size, maybe 6 times the lot size of the initial trade, to try to quickly gain back your money. And you can see that this robot has done that in some of these cases. So here you see the dip down and then the back up. That's almost certainly a martingale or a reverse trade. So the robot lost one or two, or let's say one trade, then it opened up a martingale trade or a reverse trade with big lot sizes to gain the money back. Now that can work. It can also fail and cause you to lose a lot more. So far on this account it hasn't done that. The robot also comes with 4 different currencies that you can trade. I think it comes with USD CHF, so the Swiss franc versus the dollar. It comes with cable, which is British pound versus USD. That's a separate EA that arrives with that you get with the robot. I think it also has the pound versus the euro, and then it has the pound versus dollar. Did I already mention that one? It has one other currency. I think it's euro versus dollar. So if you look at every successful account that I've seen, if we look here at the summary, you can see it's not trading all 4. It's only trading the euro versus the US dollar. And this it has in common with every successful account I've seen with this robot. All of them use only the euro versus the US dollars. They don't use the other currencies. So we'll look at that a little more on other accounts. But if we look at the other 3 accounts linked on the homepage for the GPS robot, they're all similar. Good gains across many years, so in this case 4 years. You can see every time it dips down, it engaged in a martingale trade. Again, it only had 15 martingale trades. So basically, when it loses, it's often opening a martingale trade. And then you can see that its gains are very small, less than 1% 2020, less than 1% for most of 2019. It had good gains earlier in 2019, and I don't know what it was doing to get those good gains. I haven't analyzed this account enough. That's actually something that I'll take a further look at. It was able to make consistently good gains for years, although recently it's made only very small gains, so they probably dialed back the risk. Probably what's happened here is it had heavy risk before, and they've dialed back the risk recently now that the account shows overall good monthly gains. Here's the third account they link. You can see here 1.58% a month. Drawdown's very reasonable. It actually took a loss here, it looks like, without a martingale trade, or maybe even the martingale trade was the loss, although I doubt it. But again, its gains are very small, less than 1% in these months in 2020, less than 2% in 2020, less than 1% across the board in 2019. So even though it looks like it has overall 1.5% a month, you can see that recently it's not even close to that. And this one's also trading Euro USD, like all of the successful accounts are that I've seen with this robot. So let's take a look at some accounts that maybe didn't do as well that I found on my FX book. So here, a good account. It's run for, it looks like 6 years and made good money, but it's gained only 0.67% a month with a drawdown of 8.35, and I'll bet it uses Euro USD only. Yes, it does. Okay. Here we have an account that it looks like probably lost a martingale trade, although a lot of information is hidden on this account. So it looked like it ran for a little while, maybe less than a year, took a big loss, and then is it still trading? Probably not. It looks like it got shut down in March. Here's another account that probably took a big martingale loss on a reverse trade, didn't succeed with that trade. It started out with 700 euros, he's down to 8 euros, and it looks like he shut down trading on the account. Here's another account that looks like it took big losses. Another account that looks like it's had some small gains. Let's see what currencies this one's trading on. It's trading on all of the currencies. Probably not smart for the poor fellow that's running this, but it looks like he shut it down in December. He's no longer trading it. Here we have another account that was shut down after it went into deep drawdown here. So this one shut down, it looks like, in January, probably because of the small gains and the high drawdown. This user decided to stop running the robot. That's my guess. Here we have another account that took a lot of losses and just stopped, it looks like. Another account that actually has good gains. It looks like he's probably playing the robot big, in other words, playing it with high lot sizes, although it looks like he decided to shut it down in December of last year and hasn't done any trading since. If this is even GPS, it doesn't look a lot like GPS to me. Let's see what currencies it trades. Oh, Euro USD. It probably is GPS, all buy trades, and that's how GPS trades. So let's discuss that for a minute. My hypothesis or my supposition is that GPS trades only buy trades. It doesn't really, the GPS isn't crafting keen entries into the market. It doesn't have some indicator, in my opinion, that's so great. Basically what it does is at a certain time of the day every day, depending on how you have it set, either every day or only some days, it will just open a buy trade. And then it opens it with a high, a large stop loss, a very large stop loss, and a very small take profit. So GPS is a little bit like a scalper. It's operating, I think it opens the trades late in the US trading day. I believe that's when it opens them. I can't recall exactly. And then it's just hoping for a small gain versus a large loss. So it can succeed a lot of the time getting that small gains, because that's basically how scalpers work. They have a high win percentage because they're not looking for a big gain. They might be looking for 10 pips or some small gain. And they have a big loss, maybe 60 pips. So the percentages say that you're going to win that more often than not. And that's what GPS does. So it's not like it's a great indicator that can tell it when to trade, and that's why it has a lot of wins. It's just that it has a very short take profit and a very long stop loss. Here's another account with GPS that looks like it shut down trading in November of 2019. Traded on all the pairs. It looks like good gains. I'm not sure why this user stopped running it. They were probably playing I suppose, big lot positions. Yeah, it looks like they were playing fairly large, 0.12 lots, which is large for a $1,000 deposit. So that can give you good gains, but also the risk of losing a martingale and blowing the entire account is huge. Here we have a user who it looks like probably lost a martingale trade. He's quit trading. It looks like he shut down his account because he lost basically everything. He was down to 96 cents or 0.96 euros. Another user that lost a lot, shut down trading, it looks like. Another user that lost, it looks like, almost everything. He had $10,000 initially, he's down to $958. and it looks like he shut down his trading at all. So you see this a lot with GPS. Martingale is fine until you lose a martingale trade, and then you're very sad. This guy probably was not trading Euro USD. Yeah, he traded a lot of different currencies. Silly idea. Most of his losses were here on cable, the pound US dollar. That's where he lost basically all of his money. So let's take a look briefly at the user manual for GPS. GPS has a nice user manual, very complete, very good for beginners. It goes through step by step explaining how to use the robot, how to configure the robot. Has a full explanation of the settings, which is great. I really appreciate that. One of the interesting things about GPS is that it has this auto analysis setting, which they recommend you set to true. So it says here that this will cause it to open fewer trades, and I know when I'm on various trading groups, I see users that buy GPS complain because they initially start out with this auto analysis set to true, and the robot just doesn't trade. So users will wait for weeks or months and they don't see a trade, so they get upset and then they turn off this auto analysis. I have a guess that this auto analysis really isn't any more successful. Your trades aren't any more successful when turning this on or turning it off. That's my guess. It just trades less, so it's safer. But I'm not sure about that. Maybe there is some whiz-bang indicator that helps it trade. I doubt it, but maybe. If I were running GPS, which I own it, but I don't currently run it, I think I would leave auto analysis on, and I would trade only on the Euro USD pair. I think that's the most successful way to run this robot. And I probably would leave martingale on, because I think you know, the Euro USD pair is more of a ranging pair, it tends to recover, but I think with the martingale on and the Euro USD pair only, we've seen enough successful accounts that have run for 6 or 8 years that we can think that this is probably a successful way to run the robot overall, although very small gains. So that's the user manual. Let's look at, I want to show you my disclaimer, which I should have done earlier. Let's take a look at that. So I want to point out that trading is very risky. You should only trade with money you can afford to lose. I'm not soliciting your trading. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to trade. It's completely your decision whether you trade or not. You should expect to lose any money that you trade with. And this video is only for entertainment. Trading is risky as hell, or risky as heck, excuse my language. So that's the disclaimer. Please read it carefully. Let's take a look at my scorecard for GPS. Does it use grid or averaging? No, I gave it a 10. Does it use martingale? Yes, I gave it a 1. Does it use baskets of trades? No, I gave it a 10. Does it set stop losses and take profits? Yes, and that's an interesting thing about the robot. Those, though, can be hidden. So some people feel that brokers will intentionally modify price to hit your stop loss, so they don't want to reveal their stop loss to a broker. I'm not in that camp. I feel like the brokers that I trade with, LQDFX and other brokers that I think are reputable, I don't think they're going to intentionally hit my stop losses, so I don't want to hide my stop loss. I actually want my stop loss put in with my trade so that it's at the broker for a number of reasons. First of all, if I have a technical problem on my side, on my VPS or on my EA, if something goes wrong, I lose connection to the broker, then you can't close the trade if you didn't put the stop loss with the trade to the broker. If you haven't told the broker what the stop loss is, they won't close your trade. So you are at risk for very big losses. If you try to hide your stop loss, what that means is the EA has to be running on the chart successfully, communication has to be open to the broker, and then the EA has to send the stop to, or the close position to the broker when the EA decides that the stop loss has been reached. To me, this is more dangerous, and I judge that to be a greater risk than just sending my stop loss to the broker. You can even have flash crashes in Forex, for example. There are times, even as recently I know as in early 2019, there was a flash crash, and there have been others, where the price goes down or up very rapidly, usually down on a pair. And if you don't have your stop loss at the broker, the chances that you will be able to communicate that stop loss to the broker when the broker's servers are getting thrashed by lots of activity during a flash crash It's going to take longer probably to get that stop loss to the broker and get it executed than it would if your stop loss was already at the broker's server and on the trade, so that it could be closed as quickly as possible during the stop loss, during the flash crash. So I don't like that, but some people do. It allows it. So I gave it a 10 here. Average trade hold time less than a day, gave it a 10. Monthly profit 0.062, very low profit. We prefer 0.33 profit compared to drawdown. I gave it a 2 in this category. Max drawdown and account leverage, 31% max drawdown. They're certainly worse, but they're certainly better, so I gave it a 5 there. Average drawdown, I'm not sure what the average drawdown is, so I gave it a 5. But I think it's, fairly low average drawdown. Overall opinion, my opinion is that if this is traded on all pairs, it's dangerous. If you trade it only on EU, it's pretty safe, but you have to beware of martingale, which can burn you. It makes very small money. It's probably a good robot for beginners for a number of reasons. Has a very good manual, which explains very carefully to you how to use the robot. It's a fairly safe robot, I would say, although you can make it more dangerous by trading all pairs and leaving the martingale on and increasing the lot sizes. So yeah, you can make it dangerous, but it's a fairly safe, steady, small profit robot for beginners, I guess. Maybe one way to get started in Forex trading with robots. Another thing to point out is that the manual and the website recommend that you use FX Choice as your broker. They've got a special quote-unquote GPS account set up with FX Choice. I talked to the broker. There's nothing special about that account. It's just a regular account they call FX Choice. It's sort of a marketing bid to get you to use FX Choice. Now, what does the developer and seller of the robot get out of that? They have an affiliate program, I'm sure, with FX Choice, so that if you trade with FX Choice, a little bit of the money that FX Choice makes from commissions and spreads will be passed back to the seller of this EA or this robot, so they get some benefit if you use FX Choice. My advice is that FX Choice, or my thinking, my view, I shouldn't say advice, I don't want to give you advice. My thinking is that FX Choice trading conditions are not very good. The spreads aren't very good. The spread and commission combination, to me, aren't compelling. So I wouldn't want to use FX Choice personally. I use LQDFX and other brokers. I've used CoinEx in the past, Trader's Way. Trader's Way isn't my favorite. I like it, but it only allows you to trade as low as 0.1 lot on gold, which means if you try to trade gold, you have to trade big trades, and gold's very volatile, and you can lose a lot of money quickly. So I don't prefer that broker, but I've used them in the past. I like them. CoinEx can be good, although their spreads have been terrible during this coronavirus, so I stopped using them currently. LQDFX has seemed to be consistently a reputable broker with good spreads and good trading conditions. FX Choice, I can't say that they have good trading conditions. So my thinking is I wouldn't feel compelled at all to use FX Choice because the developer of this EA said to use them. Probably the best bet is to use a broker that you feel is the best trading conditions for you. I wouldn't be compelled or pushed into using FX Choice just because the developer mentioned them. Anyway, overall score here is 190 out of 300, which is a pretty good score. This is a decent robot. I don't currently use it. I may use it in the future. I'm not sure, although I kind of doubt it. Hope this review helped. If you have any other robots you want me to take a look at, or any other signals you'd like me to look at, or questions, put them in the comments and I will try to accommodate you. Appreciate your watching. Please subscribe. Please help hit the thumbs up, and share with friends if you're interested. Thank you.